Hey guys, welcome to this edition of Innovative Service Routes Shop Talk. Today we're discussing the new iRoutes mobile application available in the app stores with David Martineau, the project manager. Welcome, David.
Thank you, Kathryn. Good to be here.
So tell us a little bit about the mobile project. How long did it take? Who worked on it? Stuff like that.
Okay, well, it took us about 2 months to actually get it out, ready, but we were actually working on it for a couple of months before that. We had it almost ready. We were getting ready to get pictures for the App Store, and we handed it off to our graphic designer, and she took one look at it and said, "This is horrible." So we kind of started over. We had a designer that just came off another project, put together the screens for us, and I think we got a much sharper looking app now.
Yeah, looks good. So let's dig into using the app. I'm going to share my screen. I have iRoutes all set up in our staging environment, and I have some routes set up for service today to demonstrate. I've also sent some messages, including pictures, SMS, voice, an email, and even a chat session with the website. So let's walk through this app.
Okay, so we're looking at the screen where the driver is actually logged in. And let me just say right now, this app works even if you don't have a driver. So a lot of our customers have kind of an office person who can use this as well. They can just get to messages and then they can use the apps to get to other things. And I'll go over what the apps are here in a minute. So why don't you show, Kathryn, kind of we're not going to show installing the app. Our customers will have a link to the app stores. It's kind of hard to find in the app store, so they'll have a direct link off of iserviceroutes.com. But why don't you show logging in? So go ahead and hit the little hamburger menu up in the top right corner and log out. Go down the bottom and then go back one screen. Do you remember your code here? Okay. So you don't have to know the code for your enterprise. We're giving everyone kind of a code so they can get in a little bit quicker. But if as long as you know your email address, so go ahead and just put in whatever your email address is for your stage environment. Okay, and then you need the customers in prod. Does that say our service route? Okay. The customers in production won't need to hit this change of location, but we need to here in stage. So go ahead and select the .NET one with the -D. So that stands for deployed on stage. Okay. All right. So the first part kind of helps us find out who you are. The second part is you got to know your username and password. Um, you can just use the browser to store that, so you don't have to keep typing it in. I noticed you had it stored already, but that's okay. And then you can pretty much just ignore that screen. That's just a kind of a security warning. Okay, so here we are. We're back to the dashboard. So probably most people are going to quickly want to see how to use the routing. So let's go with that one first. So go ahead and click your routes. And then it's kind of similar to our existing driver portal. You start by selecting the truck and enter in any notes. Actually, before you go forward, let's preview the work for today. So hit that little preview button. So this just kind of gives you a summary of how many routes you're assigned to, how many customers, and how many services each of those routes have. So that's what preview work looks like. That is different than the current preview work. The current preview work lets you list all the customers, so just be aware of that. Okay.
Do you want me to hit continue?
Yep. Hit continue. And then this is the same sort of thing. Once you have the truck, you pull up which route you're going to be working on. Start truck. Okay, here's where things get a little bit different than the current driver portal. The service map button is the same as what's on the current driver portal. It pulls up a browser with kind of the whole route. Those icons down at the bottom, the blue one that's selected is, oh, did you click the button?
Yeah, I clicked the map.
Oh, okay. I wasn't going to show that on yours because you probably got routes clear out in the Atlantic Ocean.
I do.
Okay. Okay. The notes. So let's go through the bottom. Hit the notes icon. So this just has any notes that's associated with the route for this day. There's two types of notes. There's notes for today, and then there's notes generally to the route. I'm not sure how often these are used, but that's what those are. All right, click the airplane. This is the same as what's on the current one. Basically, if you click that button, all the customers on these routes are going to get a notice saying, hey, I'm running late, but I'm still coming. All the customers that haven't been serviced yet. So on stage it works a little bit different, but on prod it'll actually send them to all the customers. So don't click the button unless you really want to do it. Okay, that resource tag is where you add resources. Now I'm not sure a lot of our customers are actually using this. This was designed to be hooked into our QuickBooks wannabe application that we've been working on. This is where you can just record what resources you've used. You can even take a picture of those resources, and it'll kind of go towards your cost of doing business. So yeah, if you click that little add receipt button right there, checkbox, you'll get a camera, and then you can take a picture. So okay, next one, stop route. That's just, if you need to stop the route, that's not necessarily stopping work. It's just you're stopping this route for a minute. And then pause is you're pausing the route for a minute. Both of those have a resume
Does
function.
this let you type in here what you're stopping for?
Yeah, yep, you can type in there.
Cool.
Okay, go back to the icon, the teardrop map icon thing there. Okay, now on this screen, so let's take a look at this customer. So you've got a customer here, Manon phone. She's got 3 services and it's called quarterly. There's some driver notes. So go ahead and click the arrow. Okay, now this is where things get a little bit different as well. You see you've got your normal complete button, your skip button. You've got your list of serial numbers that go with your cans if there are any. Now there's more tools that you can use, by clicking that additional menu. So you can see the different things you can do with this customer. You can send them a text message, that green one. So that'll pop up a message. Now this works the same as the existing driver portal. If you've got the permissions to, type a full-blown message to the customer, you can do that. Otherwise, there's the canned messages that pull up from your message templates. The phone button lets you call them from your business line, so the number they'll get is your business number. So this, when you click that, it's a 2-step process, so you can go ahead and click it and show it. It'll ask if you want to connect, and then if you say okay, your phone will start ringing in just a minute as it connects you to a call room where you both you and the customer enter into the call room to talk. Okay, so that's how you can call them from here. The photo is something new. Some of our customers wanted to be able to take pictures of trash cans before and after. So you can take as many pictures as you want. Those get stored with the customer record, and you can also in the future, probably in the next release, you'll have the ability to send those pictures to the customer when the service is completed. That's not going out in phase 1, but it's slated for phase 2. That edit icon is to let you edit the serial numbers on the trash cans, and those get saved back to the customer record. And then those two are geocoordinate. Those two are launch your map program to get you to the location of the customer. One of them is, I think the top one, the greenhouse, is address, so it looks it up by address, and the bottom one is geocoordinates. So if you have geocoordinates, it'll take you to the map based on geocoordinates. So those are your mapping buttons. You're missing a button, Kathryn. Um, there's the button to drop a pin. That should be there on the bottom. So you must not have permissions to drop a pin. But that's okay. It's pretty straightforward on how to use that. Okay, so let's go ahead and complete this service. So hit the complete button. It's kind of the same as before. You've got, the quantity that you serviced, any service notes, any driver notes. If the actual amount serviced is greater than expected, then you have to hit that little checkbox. So go ahead and hit complete there.
Let's show them.
Okay, and then they go over to your completed tab, so you can hit the completed and see that that one's done. I'm on phone. Okay, so that's kind of it for the driver portal. Pretty simple. Complex on our side, but simple. We try to keep it pretty simple. So, any questions?
Nope. Pretty
Okay,
simple.
pretty simple. All right, so you can see there's a red 2 up there. So those are, you have 2 messages that have come in. So let's go take a look at your messages.
Can I click on that?
I don't know, try it.
No.
Okay, so you got to go to the hamburger menu, go to the message center. Okay, so you can see you got these different icons. So that top one, the blue with the recording thing, means somebody called and left a message. So you can actually come in here and play the message right from here and listen to it. I don't know if we'll be able to hear it here, but okay. So that's how you can play back the message. In a future release, we'll have the ability to call the customer from here as well, or text them. So I should point out, go back to the message center, go back one screen. So currently this is all the messages in the message center for the last 24 hours for everybody. So it's important to understand you're seeing everyone's messages here. The black ones mean somebody, you or somebody else, has looked at those, and the blue ones mean it's a new message. Okay, so you can see there's different types. There's text messages, there's emails. Emails, if they come in, will come in here. Go down to Coco Ralph. Is that the one we sent a sample? Okay, so if the customer sends a picture, you can click on the picture. There's our dog Rocket helping out. So if they send a picture, you'll be able to, you click on the picture and look at it in here. Okay, so that's the message center. You can only reply currently on this version. You'll be able to reply to the message, but you won't be able to like find a customer and send a new message from here currently. Okay. All right, go back to the menu and let's go over a couple more things here. So there's this thing called apps, and what the apps are, they're just our existing apps. So can you show the browser for just a minute, Kathryn?
Mm,
Are you logged into iRoute? It's probably that middle one up there. A
right
tab
here.
in there. Yeah. So those apps on the left, those are the apps I'm talking about. So you got iRoutes, iContacts, iReseller, blah, blah, blah. Okay, go back to the mobile and let's take a look at that. So with the mobile, you have them here as well. And what they do is they launch a browser single sign-on, which means you don't have to log in again into each of these applications. So if you need to get into iRoutes, the rest of the application from here, you can get into it. Now we're working on making all of those mobile friendly. So let's go ahead and look at one. Hit iRoutes and let's take a look at it. So you can see that it launches it into a browser, but it's single sign-on. You don't have to log in again. So on this screen here, Kathryn's demonstrating this on an iPad, so it is actually, almost the same as on a desktop in terms of screen resolution. So you can get around fairly well. And it's important to remember that that browser keeps running. So where'd you go, Kathryn? Okay, so we've kind of demonstrated apps. You can get to any of the apps. Those are group based, so if you have permission to get to them, then you can get to them. So the last thing we want to show is links. Go ahead and click that. Well, actually, go to the menu so we can see. So the links will have a label, and this time we just called it Google. So that link probably just takes you to Google. But if you have things that you want your drivers to have access to outside of our app, and you just want to be able to take them to them, you can add links, custom links into your software. So let's go over that, how to do that. So can you go to the browser now, Kathryn?
Yeah, is it going to kick me off again?
Oh, wait a minute. So before we do that, so we'll be done with the app. Let's show one more thing in here, and then we'll just stay in the browser. So click the About link up there. So this About link is going to be important. So as you need support from us, we want to be able to see, hey, which version are you on? So this is going to tell us which version. You're on version 40. So kind of know how to get to this screen so that we can help you troubleshoot if you have any problems. We want everyone to stay on the current version, so we'll kind of encourage you to keep up with the latest and greatest. Okay, now we're done with the mobile app, so let's go take a look at. Why don't you just clock out there, Kathryn, so we can show everyone how to clock out. That's it. That's how you clock out.
Okay, now you want me to.
Well, you can just do it from here. Click iRoutes right there.
Well, this is what kicked me off last time.
Was it?
I don't know. Something did. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. So go to admin. So there's two things we're going to show in admin. And go to settings. So the first thing we want to show is mobile links. It's the fourth, yeah, right there. Click that. So this is where you put in the links. The links, you have two options on the links for person. It can be a link that everyone can get to, or it can be a link just to certain people, certain person, one person. So let me give you an example here. Let's say that you want to put an iReseller link in here for one of your drivers, and then that driver can always, use it to launch his specific iReseller and do a, on the job sell for a customer. Those kind of things is what it can be used for if you lock it to an individual person. You might have like a Google spreadsheet that all your drivers use for whatever reason. You might want to put that in here. So that's what these links are for. Okay, close that. Let's show one last thing, and then we'll call this an end. Go up to settings and go to, oh, it's under accounting, sorry. And go to iRoutes billing and click on storage settings. So all these pictures up there are going to take up some space, and iRoutes is going to add that to your bill. So the way we decided to do it is basically you just say, I want to pay for a certain amount of storage. When I reach that storage, start deleting old stuff. I don't know that you really want to keep a picture of a trash can around for 10 years. So what this does is it just lets you kind of set it and forget it. You can decide how big your storage is going to be and just let it, for 52 cents you'll get 10 gigabytes a month. So when you reach that level, then we start deleting old stuff. So that's how the storage is going to work. You do have to turn this on. You have to make a decision to turn it on. So make sure you're aware of that.
If
Okay.
you don't come in here and pick a storage settings, it won't even let you have the camera option.
Right, the camera won't even show up. So that's a good way to troubleshoot if they've turned it on. Okay, Kathryn, you got any questions?
Um, Not that I can think of.
All right, I wrote some down that our
Can they make outbound calls?
only from the driver portal currently.
Okay. So like if a customer just scans art out, they want to call them, they can call the customers in the driver portal, but not they can't look up a customer and call them.
Right, currently.
Okay.
Okay, so let me go over some other things, some other questions I thought people might have. Can this be installed on a Mac? So Apple has started making their App Store available to Macs, but you have to have the M1 processor chip. So if you have a current version, current technology Mac, you can actually run this app on your Mac. Let's see. Can this be installed on tablets? Answer is yes. We've tested it on iPad. As you can see here, Kathryn's demonstrating on an iPad. And as far as we know, you can run it on an Android tablet. We haven't done much testing with that. How do we report features or bugs? Just like always, send them to support@iserviceroutes.com. How do we see the pictures we'll take? So that one will be ready in just a couple of days, actually. We're working on that. You don't have to wait till the end of phase 2 for that. We'll be pushing that. And you'll see it in 2 places. You'll see a master list of all the images in the services area. So hit service there.
Can I show this one real fast?
What are you doing?
Can't you see it? Won't you be able to see it here?
You will. I mean, we can show them where it'll show up, but currently we don't have it anywhere. I don't think. Is it on the ticket log? On the service log?
Oh yeah, it was service log. It'll
I can't see it. You're being blocked by the recording. Is there a picture on the bottom right corner? Okay, so looks like we need to
show
have.
up here, won't it?
Yeah, we should have it showing up there. There's also going to be a pictures button on this screen where they can see all the pictures, the whole history of pictures.
And then you said on the service.
And then on the service screen, we're going to add a button on the menu between service payroll and tech log that'll say service pictures, and it'll have all of them for all customers from all time.
Okay.
Okay. And then we're also going to make it so that there'll be a new Jexel syntax for emails where you can attach the last pictures that were taken for that customer.
Sweet. And then while we're here, this isn't going to be needed anymore, correct?
It will eventually go away, correct. The old driver portal will eventually go away. Everything will be done on the mobile app. So it depends on the rollout, how fast we can get all of our existing customers to adopt the mobile app. But yes, this is going away.
Okay.
Which brings us to that question. Will the existing driver portal still be usable? Yes. And to set this mobile up, there is some work that we have to do to the enterprise that we'll just have you do that. You'll work with the customers. My final question was, what new features are planned for the mobile app? This version going out does not have offline mode. You do have to be connected to the internet. Some of our customers have indicated they get into areas where they lose cell phone connectivity and they need to be able to keep working. So that's going to be in the next phase, offline mode. Some customers have asked for something, we'll just call it team mode, where you got 2 drivers working off the same route. Basically, you know, one at the top and one at the bottom, and they want to be able to have 2 drivers working together and have some greater functionality there. and then just generally ongoing, we're going to do improvements to the mobile apps, um, to the apps, iRoutes and other apps that are linkable in there, so that they're mobile friendly. So that's kind of it.
Sweet. I
Okay.
think it's great.
All
As
right.
always, we appreciate feedback as well.
Definitely. We like your feedback. All right. If that's it, Kathryn will call this the shop talk for the week.
I think it's good.
All right. Thanks.